Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the English podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Thanks so much for tuning in again. If you joined us for episode 1, you know we talked about why learning English matters in today's world. That was a great start.
Yes, and today we're moving into something very real, very human, the fears people have when starting English and how to beat those fears.
Honestly, Sarah, I think this is one of the most important topics because so many people want to learn English, but fear holds them back.
Exactly. And we're not just going to list the fears, we're going to share tips, real life examples, and even some of our own experiences so that listeners can walk away with confidence.
So let's begin with the number one fear, making mistakes.
Yes, this is so common. I think almost every learner I've ever met has said, I don't want to make a mistake. I'll sound stupid.
But here's the thing, mistakes are not the enemy. They are literally the tool that helps you learn.
Exactly. Think about when kids learn to ride a bike. They fall, they wobble, they crash, and yet nobody says, you're a failure for falling. We say, good job, keep trying.
Same with English. If you say, she go to work yesterday, okay, that's not correct grammar, but guess what? The listener still understands.
And you're practicing. That's the real win.
Actually, Sarah, I once had a student who refused to speak for 6 months. He was terrified of saying something wrong, but the result was he didn't improve. When he finally started speaking, mistakes and all, he improved faster in 3 weeks than he had in half a year.
Oh, I've seen that too. The learners who are brave enough to make mistakes are the ones who progress the fastest.
So if you're listening right now and you've been holding back because of mistakes, remember, mistakes are part of the journey, not the end of it.
Yes, mistakes are your teachers. And if you can change your perspective, you'll feel freer to practice. Now, moving to another big fear, speaking in public.
Oh, yes. Even in our own languages, people are afraid of public speaking. So imagine adding English on top of that. It's double the fear.
Exactly. And the fear sounds like this. What if I forget the words? What if I freeze? What if people laugh?
But here's the truth. Audiences are usually kind. Most people want you to succeed. They're not waiting for you to fail.
That's so true. I had a student once who gave her first short speech in English to her classmates. She was shaking, her hands were sweating. She made a lot of grammar mistakes. But afterwards, the class gave her a round of applause. They admired her courage.
See? People respect effort more than perfection.
So, how can learners overcome this fear?
I'd say start small. Don't try to give a 10-minute speech right away. Start by introducing yourself to one person, then 2, then a small group. Step by step, you build confidence.
And prepare. If you have to speak in English, write some notes, practice out loud, rehearse in front of a mirror. The more you practice before, the calmer you'll feel during.
Yes, and remember, you don't have to be perfect. Your message is more important than perfect grammar.
So, making mistakes and speaking in public both connect to the same idea, fear of judgment.
Right, and that leads perfectly into the next fear we want to talk about, the fear of not being good enough.
Yes, learners often say, I'll never be fluent. My English is terrible. Other people are better than me.
And usually that comes from comparison. You hear your classmates speak better or you watch a fluent YouTuber and you feel small.
But here's the truth. Comparison kills motivation. Everyone learns at their own pace, and everyone has strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. Some people are great at remembering vocabulary. Others are great listeners. Others have strong grammar. But very few people are perfect in everything.
I sometimes ask my students, do you expect a baby to run a marathon? Of course not. Learning English is the same. You don't start at expert level, you start small and grow.
And you don't need to be perfect to be good enough. You just need to communicate. Connection is the goal, not perfection.
Here's a tip I give. Track your progress. Write down the new words or phrases you learn each week. After 3 months, look back. You'll see huge progress, and that will remind you you are good enough.
So we've talked about mistakes, public speaking, and feeling not enough. And there's another fear closely connected to that.
Yes, the fear of how you sound, your accent. Learners often say, my accent is bad. People won't understand me.
But the truth is, everyone has an accent, even native speakers. An American accent is different from a British accent. A New Yorker sounds different from a Texan. A Londoner sounds different from a Scotsman.
Exactly. So why should a Japanese or Cambodian or Brazilian learner feel ashamed of their accent? Your accent is part of your identity.
And as long as you are clear, your accent is not a problem. Clarity matters more than sounding like a native.
Actually, accents can be beautiful. They show your story, your background. I think of them like colors. Different accents add diversity to the world of English.
That's a great image.
Of course, if you want to improve your pronunciation, there are strategies. Practice difficult sounds slowly. Record yourself and compare. Listen carefully to native speakers and imitate.
Yes, but don't let the fear of accent stop you from speaking. The only way to get better is to keep speaking. Now, speaking of speaking, there's a fear that happens right in the middle of speaking.
Oh, I know what you mean. Forgetting words. Yes, learners often start a sentence, then suddenly freeze because they can't remember the right word.
And then they panic. But guess what? That happens in our own languages too. Sometimes I can't think of a simple word in English, and I go, what's that thing called again?
Same here. So if it happens in your second language, it's perfectly normal.
The key is don't stop. Keep going. Use another word. Use a description. Use your hands. If you forget umbrella, say, the thing for rain. People will understand.
Yes, communication is not just about perfect vocabulary. It's about getting your message across. And often, people don't even notice that you forgot a word. They just keep listening.
And here's a secret. The more you practice, the less this will happen. Your brain gets faster at finding words.
So, we've looked at all these fears: mistakes, speaking in public, not being enough, accent, forgetting words. And they all connect to one big question. How do we actually overcome fear in general?
First, accept that fear is normal. If you feel fear, it means you're pushing yourself, and that's good.
Yes. Second, practice reduces fear. The more you do something, the less scary it becomes.
Third, find support. Join a group, find a language partner, or connect online. When you have encouragement, fear loses its power.
And finally, celebrate small wins. Did you speak English today? Fantastic. Did you learn a new phrase? Amazing. Every small step matters.
So, to everyone listening, don't let fear stop you. Every English learner feels the same fears. You are not alone.
And remember, confidence doesn't come first. Practice comes first, and confidence follows.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much for joining us on the English Podcast.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss episode 3, How to Build Daily Habits for Learning English.
Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and don't be afraid. See you next time.